I'm joined by Lance Hill, Managing Director of 8 Days a Week Print Solutions. So welcome to In the Know, Lance, and thanks for joining us. So my first question is, what strategies have you had to put in place to deal with this large-scale disruption to our industry, and how are you supporting both your staff and your customers?
In terms of strategy with the COVID-19, one of the things that I did quite early, which I guess would be probably 4 or 5 weeks ago now, we went quite early with things like the hygiene side, the signage. Really the priority for me was all about health and safety of my staff. So we were very fortunate to get on board with that early signage, hygiene, checking that we had the right structure in place in terms of social distancing. I think that was before that word was even talked about. We did that quite early, and made sure that the staff were really on board with what we needed to do to make sure we protected ourselves as a business internally. Now is not the right time to be pushing aggressively with new business, so it's more about looking at our existing client base, what their plans are, what their strategy is, how can we support them, how can we work with them to help them, and just really be there for them. Some of those clients have sort of fallen off a cliff, but they've said that they'll absolutely come back. So again, it's about saying, okay, let's sit tight and wait for you to return. Other client sectors of ours are still producing and still need us and still getting work out. So again, it's about being flexible. If things need to go out quickly, we turn it around very quickly for them. And other things like flexible payment plans. Most of our clients, vast majority of our customers are really good payers and pay on time, but we've had a few where I know they've got a few challenges with cash flow. So again, it's about how can we support them, what can we do to help them.
Good that you were so quick to respond. Now, is the support currently on offer from the government effective, do you feel? And what could they provide that would really make a big difference?
I have furloughed just 4 staff across onto that scheme initially, and I don't see that changing. So I think that is quite a key scheme. I guess the big thing for that is getting that money back. We're quite financially strong, but there are other businesses out there who clearly will find the cash flow side difficult. So I think one of the critical things there will be is how quickly those claims can be processed. I think things like VAT and business rates, which have already been talked about, how can there be a bridging scenario where businesses can get some relaxation on payments? And one of the issues, again, is things like landlords. We've had no joy with our landlord, but is there some pressure the government could put onto landlords to payment holidays, that kind of stuff? And again, it's looking at supply chains. Where can government help there? I guess the other thing is with the business interruption loan scheme is I can see there'll be a lot of issues where businesses aren't getting those loans. And again, it's about the banks. I have a strange scenario. My wife actually works for one of the big banks, and she's actually working on the business side of it. So I see it from the other side of the fence where the banks have got to take a lot of risk. So the government really needs to back the banks for them to take that risk, because there's no doubt about it. Unfortunately and sadly, in our industry and others, a lot of these businesses won't survive. That is a fact. That's going to happen. And there'll be some high risk strategy in there, and there'll be some loans that get defaulted on. So the government have got to be able to support the banks, because otherwise the banks will say, why should we take the risk?
Now, on a happier note, you recently have made a series of innovations and investments in order for your business to pursue growth. Can you tell me what they are and what drove them?
So, bizarre one for us. We took the decision to invest in a new digital press a few months ago. And the installation of that machine, the Xerox Ball Tour, actually started just before the coronavirus kicked off. So it was a slightly interesting time to do it. But we put that to one side. That decision was based on us looking to move into our next stage of growth. It's inkjet technology, which means we can look at some different volumes, but also there's a portion of work we want to bring back in-house, which we've outsourced for a number of years. So the technology, the innovation that machine brings allows us to do that and takes us on the next phase of our organic growth plan.
Thanks very much for your time, Lance.